everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to Knit Chat. This is our Tuesday evening informal knit at the coffee shop with your friends. We're coming to you from Southwestern Ontario. We are a mostly knitting podcast. My name's Noelle, and this is my friend Kelly. So we've got a few people that have joined us in the comments. I see Valerie's here, Michelle, Trudy, Annette. We've got Sue, Susie, Elaine, Catherine, Joan, Barb, Linda, Jan, Cheryl, Trudy, Julia. Oh, we've got someone new, Atlin. So Atlin, we're so glad that you're here. If you wouldn't mind letting us know what your first name is. We're trying to get onto some of these. I actually went through last week and I went through to see if I could make a list of anybody whose name is not their screen name. But it's on my other device, but we're going to get to know all of those.
That worked really well for you then, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Well, I remembered it that day. And we've got Deborah, Michelle, we've got Kimberly, Linda, May Jo. There's getting to be so many of you here, it's hard to go through all these. Sarah's here, Sheila, Klaska. Whoops, sorry, I'm putting people's names up there. We've got Jess, Marianne, Tracy, Kimmy, Janet, Teresa, Heather. If I miss anybody, say so. June, Olivia, Jackie. We've got Jan, we've got Cindy, Vicky, Cornelia, Linda, and Atlin's name is Tony. I'm going to have to write that one down. Tony.
Okay.
So we've got Maureen, Mickey, let's see, Sue, and I think that's good. So welcome, everybody. This is our last knit chat before Christmas. How did we get here already?
Okay. Can we pause a moment? Just a second. I have to get to something.
Okay. Can I breathe? Kelly was late. I'm panicking. It's 7:00 and I'm like, do I go? Do I start? Do I wait?
I thought it was still like 1:45. And when I signed in, Noelle's going,
Well, I thought it was your internet. And I thought, well, like, do I just start? And then, like you'll just come on in when the old Courtright internet kicks in.
Right. No, it wasn't. But no, here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this.
Yay, I know why. Yay.
Oh, except it's not even showing up. There we go. Congratulations, everybody. You have knit 1,500 pairs of socks this year.
Yay.
For
awesome.
our year-long sock along in Ravelry. And
I know we're actually, when I checked last time a little bit ago, we were already up to like 1,507.
Yes, I know.
And it's awesome.
What were we at last week? I think we were like 100-ish pairs away.
Yeah, we needed a little less than 100. So that's amazing.
Amazing. Yep. So proud of all of you sock knitters. Absolutely so proud.
So yeah, it's awesome. It's amazing. So there you go. You just have to give the knitting community a challenge and they step up.
That's right. What is everybody working on? I see some things.
What are you working on?
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm a tiny little bit further than I was last week. So we're working on our Musselburgh hats. And
yes.
Mine would fit my cat. Right now.
Is yours for Miles? It could be for Miles.
It would be bigger if I stretched it out. It's just on these little needles, right? So I'm at the point where I have to measure this now. So I can't even work on it tonight. I have to work on something else. But fear not, I have something else. But isn't this pretty?
It is pretty. I like that bullseye look. This would probably look, I wonder what it would look like in a self-striping too. Right? Because you'd have bigger
and then they'd
bigger sections at the top, and then they would get thinner, and then they'd fade back to skinnier. Or no, they'd go back to bigger.
Yes.
Right? As you decrease.
Anyway, I really like it. So I'm knitting mine on a size 3 needles. And I really like the fabric that I'm getting. And this is using the Knit Picks static yarn in the colorway. I'm going to pull it off my needle here if I'm not cautious. Colorway is Quest. So
Remember we
it's
said
pretty
we could do this while we were talking? I just dropped a stitch.
good. And that took no time at all. Okay.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I'm working on Sunday, I had to, Sunday I was at the hospital with my dad, all is well. But anyway, so I had a long, lengthy period of time to sit there. So I threw a skein of yarn in my purse and I cast this on. And I haven't worked on it since, but you'll recognize it, Noelle. Do you? There's a sock set from Rose Hill Yarns.
Oh, the Sunday afternoon.
Sunday sock or Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
It's such a pretty colorway.
It is.
I don't have the mini with me, but the mini it's kind of that green color.
And mine was the mini was the pinky rosy color.
The dusty rose color, yes. So it's a really pretty, and I'm just putting, well, this cable will be on the side, not on the middle, like I'm showing you, but it's just a cable.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. So that's what I thought I would work on. But the thing is, I like to do cables on socks when we're doing self-striping because then I can count like where I want to do the cable. But in a random yarn like this, it's really hard to count. So I thought what I'm going to do, I didn't have these with me at the hospital, is just stick a little stitch marker in there. And I'm going to count 8 rows and then do the next cable. So my first cable was a little short because I didn't like the way it looked. So I went longer, but it's right at the top of the foot. Nobody's going to see it. Or at the top of the leg.
We wouldn't even notice if you didn't tell us.
No, I know. Okay. What else?
Anyway, so everybody's excited about the 1,500 pairs of socks. That is amazing. And Barb says she's got another 3 pairs to add tomorrow. Now, Beth says, and this is an awesome idea, she says, let's try for 2022 next year.
Perfect, Beth, because we were going to go for 2,000, but why go for 2,000 when we can go for 2022? Absolutely. I agree.
That's awesome.
Awesome idea. Great. So, yes, we'll do it. You'll do it. The confetti was for all of you. It wasn't for us.
Yes,
we did nothing.
Our socks aren't in there.
Don't count. That's right.
So anyway, we have Suzanne from Quebec City, and she's very happy to be with us. Welcome, Suzanne. We're glad that you're with us too.
Beth says we're going to have to get a bigger coffee shop. Yes, it's growing.
We need a bigger raft.
We need a bigger raft, a cork raft.
That's right. So drink more wine.
Drink more wine.
We need those corks.
Mary. Never mind. Go ahead.
No, Sheila says she's knitting socks. Vicky's finishing up Christmas socks. Oh, she's finishing up the Timber Yarns Christmas socks. I have something to show you from Timber Yarns a little later.
Okay.
Linda's finishing off a cuff. Oh, she's finishing off a cuff today. Yeah, then she can add them to the sock, Cal. That's right. Let's see what's everybody else working on. Oh, Opus. That's on my list for next year. Another muscle burrow. See, someone else jumped on the muscle burrow train. It's kind of one of those things like hats, right?
Yes.
Just easy go-to.
Marianne said that she's also wearing her garden gate tonight. She held hers with mohair. So that I'd like to see a picture of that. Okay, where else? I don't even know where you are. I think I'm way behind.
Trudy's knitting the DRK everyday sweater. Kathy's working on her second Christmas cracker hat. Mickey said she's working on socks, of course. I put mine down because obviously I can't even knit a muscle burrow while I'm talking. So.
June's working on the Mary Chen cardigan. We like that one. I know exactly which one that is. It's very pretty.
And Klaska's working on the Grace Pillow Sham, her 6th Grace Pillow Sham.
Oh, wow.
And Jess is working on Christmas socks for the family. Let's see. Oh, and Tony wants to know, yes, we are. We did decide that we were going to do the sock cal again next year.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, we have to because we have to get to 2022 pairs.
That's right. We have to. So. We must.
Yeah. So
I just can't believe
I'm sure
the numbers I can't believe the numbers of socks that have come in this. But well, I shouldn't say I can't believe because it's Christmas. Now you're all throwing in your Christmas socks. That's right. So it's fantastic. I have to sneeze. I'm sorry.
Oh, Sue says says she already has her sock knitting planned for 2022. I have some of it planned. I have the Lucky Dip thing planned again. So I know I'm going to do that because it was nice to be finished all those and not have to worry about it this week.
Well, I got some things today in Happy Mail to help with next year's sock knitting. Okay, let me catch up. Let me get to where you are.
Yeah, because Kelly, I bet you didn't have enough yarn to knit 12 pairs of socks that year. You really needed to get more.
Okay, I couldn't say no. It's like it was a steal. It's as if they threw it at me for free. You can't say no.
You needed to get that stash on before we start the slasher stash.
That's right. I had to build up the stash. It was a start the car moment. So, okay,
anyway.
Marianne sent me a picture of the sweater. Awesome. I'm going to check it right after we're done here. Speaking of pictures, let's talk about that before we go any further. I have some pictures. All of you, or not all of you, some of you have sent in pictures for our pajama party next week. I need more. We need more. We need them by Christmas. Noelle and I have had our pictures taken.
Yes, we have. We're still going to wear them. We're still going to wear ours, though.
We're still going to wear our pajamas, but we had Ross take pictures of us sitting cozy in Noelle's house in our pajamas after we podcast last Friday night. It was hilarious. Kind of look like some of those post family pictures, from the 80s and 90s.
That's right.
So we need you to send in photos because I'm going, if you don't know what's going on. So on next week's Knit Chat, which will be after Christmas is over, and it will be between Christmas and New Year's, Knit Chat is a pajama party. So wear your PJs, bring some wine, bring your tea, whatever your favorite PJ cocktail is. Bring your projects, bring some munchies, and we're going to hang out here for our time in our PJs. Noelle and I will be in PJs live for the world to see. And I want you to send in photos ahead of time. If you can work on getting me your photos by Christmas. This is probably going to be a Boxing Day project for me. I want to put the pictures together, create a little slideshow that we can share with everybody here in Knit Chat.
So you can either do a DM on Instagram, or I don't know, can you get it if they put a picture in Ravelry? I don't know if you can retrieve it or not.
I'm not so sure if I could download it, but you could. Noelle has our email address down below.
Our email is knitsanpiecespodcast@gmail.com, so you can send it to that. Because we'd love to include as many people as we can in the video montage.
Yes, absolutely. And Sarah wants to know, she says she doesn't really wear PJs. Truth be told, Sarah, nor do I, but I do have some lounging around the house and that I throw on just to do my lounging in. But anyway, send me what you can. Just send, even if it's not PJs, just send us a picture of yourself knitting, enjoying your knitting, relaxing. That's right. And we're going to share it with all of you. And I think it'll be really fun. So get those photos in. Hi, Janie. Okay, now I'm going to show you the yarn that nearly threw at me free. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get it out of the bag because I was late tonight. This is going to be crinkly. I'm going to shut this off because I can't stand that.
Where did you get it from?
Far, far away.
Far away.
Far, far away. Okay.
Karen says, should we wear our day jammies or our night jammies? You can wear whichever ones you want. Well, we should say,
don't wear anything that will
video
get us
appropriate.
Don't wear anything that will get us banned from the YouTube. No.
That's right.
No. Okay. Has anybody else ever knit with this? I still feel the need to sneeze. I might have to go off camera for like a second here. Okay. I'm going to have to.
Hold the yarn up first. I need to see it.
No, it's going to happen.
Mute yourself. Anyways, that's right, Barb. You can wear your lockdown PJs. I know we all have lots of pairs because we've been hanging out in our houses for a lot of this past year. So actually this morning, I was actually doing some baking this morning. So I actually didn't even get dressed till I think not till noon. So I had my PJs on till noon today. So
Okay,
just waiting.
I'm back.
Okay.
All right. Waiting with bated breath. Has anybody ever knit with this before? This is called Head Over Heels All Stars by Stylecraft. And
Never.
I got it from the Wool Warehouse. You guys, this is a 100-gram ball, and it's a normal sock yarn. It's the softest thing you can ever imagine. It's a
So
75.
75? Okay.
75.25.
Yeah. Okay.
It's $6 Canadian for 100 grams.
Wow.
That's one color.
Pretty color.
There's this color. There is this color.
Wow.
You
so
can
what
pick
did you
one,
get?
Noelle.
Did you get 12?
No, I only got 3 of these. Come on now.
Well, I thought you said you were getting ready for like Lucky Dip. So I thought you might have got 12.
This will cover 3 months. But anyway, you can pick one, Noelle. Okay, we can't
they're
pick
also
this one.
pretty.
That was my favorite, but you can pick one of these.
I don't know. They're both nice. You choose for me. It'll be a surprise.
No. You choose. There's blue and coral or purple. Purple and cream.
Blue and coral.
Okay.
I think. Thanks. Right. Thank you. I'm excited to try it.
Big spender, $6. But right? Okay. Teresa said that she has knit with it. Did you like it? Did you like it, Teresa? And Elaine says that she loves it. She said that she's bought it from Woolwear. So it's on sale right now. I should say that. It's on sale right now for $6, but normally it's the high price of $9. And that's the Canadian price. So they're shipping all the way from
the
where
UK.
It's in the UK.
Yeah.
Is $4. That's it. It's fantastic deal. So I
also
great. Got
Kelly, they're all going to leave us right now and go on.
No. There's lots in there. You can get it after the podcast, but seriously. And then I also got these. I think I paid, these were on sale. So I did get these for, I think, $12.
I got the West Yorkshire spinners.
Got the sparkly. This is Silent Night. Yes. And then I also got this Christmas one because it was so pretty.
Vintage tinsel. I love that one.
I love them. And then, okay, so that's those things. And then I got a few more balls. These were on, theirs is still on sale. The alpaca, the Drops alpaca mix. These are on for $2.20. Oh, no, sorry. Hang on a minute. That would be times $1.71 for Canadian prices. So about $3.50, right? And these two colors, I just got this to do some color work. I was thinking hand warmers or something. And then this I have the cutest little pattern from Susan B. And it's for a little dinosaur. So I'm going to make a little dinosaur for Miles. Now this is coming out yellow. It's actually a green. And the thing is, the story behind the little dinosaur is that when Derek was a little boy, and I thought he was telling me a joke about this. I thought he was just making this up, but he said he had a storybook called Derek the Knitting Dinosaur. And I thought he was just like saying something funny, but he really had the book. Kendall went on eBay. She sourced this book, which is now out of print. She ordered one. Somebody had it on there. And so she got it. And it's up in Miles' nursery called Derek the Knitting Dinosaur. So I just figured Miles needed a little knitted dinosaur to go with it. So those are the plans. So that came in the mail today. Super happy mail day.
I'm
Hi, Karen.
Back.
Karen's here. Karen, your sweater's looking awesome.
Okay. Teresa said that the yarn did have a few knots, but that can happen in any yarn. But still, for $6, you can work around.
I can work around a knot for $6. Yes, I can.
Anyway.
Oh, did you see?
So Julia said, so basically, I'm going to put Julia's comment up here. So basically $6, that's basically a latte at the coffee shop.
Right? I know. That's what can you do for $6? Nothing.
Okay, Kloska wanted to know the star and the tree folding patterns. After this goes up, I'll go into the notes underneath and I'll put some links to them.
Okay.
So
I kept making stars. And one of the things that I did, so I don't know if anybody saw on my stories this weekend, I made a couple of batches of nuts and bolts, big batches. And I've been putting them in jars. And I kind of stole this idea from Noelle because one showed up in my basket last year. So we've been keeping jars, and I filled it up with the nuts and bolts, and I put a pretty piece of fabric over it. I tied it with twine, but I made a smaller star, Noelle. I used a 4-inch square, so it made just a tiny little star, and I tied that to the front of the jar so that the recipients can, and I put a little loop of yarn on it too, so that they could hang it on a tree or in a window. Or
that's a good idea, because I did make some of the smaller stars, but the smaller ones are, the bigger, it's easier to make the bigger ones than the smaller ones.
It is easier to make the big ones. Yes, it is. But I was also thinking on the front of the jars with the food in it, that would be really pretty to put that sort of round fan that we were looking at too. I haven't made those yet, but I also haven't made a stitch.
Actually, I was looking at my trees back here, and this one kind of showed up in here today. I don't know if I can pick it up without. Oh, geez, why can't I pick it up? Anyways, okay, so this showed up, and I said to Ross, "Wow, that star's like so perfect. How did you do that?" And he goes, and I'm looking at it, and I goes, "Did you do that whole thing?" And he goes, "Yeah, I was just putting my origami skills to the test." And then I see this tag on it. It was a card that someone gave us that he just put up and told me that he made it. Anyways, I'm looking at this star going, wow, that's
busted,
so cool.
Ross, busted.
I actually really believed him for a few minutes.
Becky said also that she got Rowan cashmere tweed from Wool Warehouse at clearance prices.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Karen's here. Hi, Karen.
Oh, Deborah says she'll see us later. She's going to the website. Come back.
I told you. I can't buy anything else. I can't. Ross could hear that, so that's why I'm saying that.
This is such a good deal. How could you not? I mean, how could you not?
He can't hear you. Maybe I should unmute this and let him hear you say that.
I'll have a firm conversation with him.
Yeah. Oh, and Valerie says she hopes Karen gets a little peace and quiet. Yeah, if you watch Karen's last podcast, she's having work done at her house, and there's all the construction noise. So hopefully it'll be a little quieter for Christmas.
I feel your pain, Karen. This has been going on at my house too for a long time. So I'm with you.
Okay. What's the sock yarn again? Oh. Deborah wants to know the name of it again. You said it was Stylecraft.
Stylecraft, head over heels.
Okay.
All stars. Now there's not a lot of colors. They don't have it's not a huge amount of colors, but they did also come out with Christmas colors, and they actually did a Christmas package where you got 4 Christmas colors, and they looked very similar. In fact, when I first looked at them, I actually thought like that it was West Yorkshire.
Sure.
Because they look very similar. But anyway, you get 4 skeins in there for $20. So that would be about what, $36 Canadian, I think. But anyway, so that's it. They're really pretty.
Is it superwash? Does it say?
Yes. Superwash wool. So probably a merino because it's really soft.
Soft, okay.
Really soft.
Jess says she's not buying any more yarn till her birthday next year, which is January 11th. I might even have a hard time making it till then. But I'm going to try. I'm really going to try, I think.
Okay.
At least today. I'm going to try today.
Elaine said that she's knitting with the vintage tinsel too. It's such a pretty color. So pretty. Right?
I do. I might have to get that one, but they'll probably still have it next year. So I'll wait.
I have to get ready for Christmas knitting next year, right? Okay.
Okay, so Marianne said a couple of years ago
they made
cylinder planes and then created a game that used a paper towel stand as the target. Oh, that's cool. It was kind of like ring toss, but less dangerous. Nobody's going to get too hurt if they get hit with a paper plane.
I do have something else new on my table today.
Oh,
From our friend Natalie. Just admire this, people. How beautiful is this? Look at this.
Gorgeous.
All the little yarn ball ornaments. I love it. She's so talented.
Pretty.
So talented. Next week, there might be wine in this. Today, it's water.
I just have water today. So Sarah says that she unexpectedly bought yarn today.
Oops.
She says she was out looking for a gift for her dad and somehow ended up buying yarn. I know, but it does happen, Sarah.
I'm sure Dad wanted yarn for Christmas, Sarah. I'm sure he did.
Okay, so Judy from Australia said she's gonna do the lucky dip next year too. So she's gonna prepare her lucky dip basket as soon as she's finished here. So I know I'm excited to actually get mine together, but I have too many other things, not necessarily knitting related, but too many other things that I have to get done before Friday.
Kimmy's also asking where the origami patterns are from.
Okay, I'm going to link those
underneath
in these and the notes under here once the video's up. Yep. So.
Oh, Michelle says she can get head over heels in Australia for 20 Australian dollars. I don't know what their dollar value is compared to ours.
Theirs is pretty similar to ours. It's actually a little bit,
okay.
So we might just be a tiny bit under that. Like theirs is worth a little bit less, but you'd have to look at with Wool Warehouse. I'm not sure. You'd have to look at what the shipping is to Australia.
Right. It's very reasonable if you're here in Canada.
That's right. So.
Oh, thank you, Judith. Judith thinks we're fun, Noelle.
Anyway, okay. So I said I was going to show you something else from Timber Yarns, but I got to just take a minute here and put it on.
Oh, okay. I know what this is.
You keep talking, Kelly. Talk about yarn. Talk about the deal you got.
You always do this to me when I
pass it up.
You always do this to me when I'm done talking about the thing, and then you said, "Okay, now you keep talking." I've run out of the talking. I've exhausted the talking.
Ross is pretty sure that we could never run out of things to talk about.
That Ross, he's got a lot of opinions about us.
Okay, there.
How fun are they? How fun are they?
So these are my crazy parrot mitts. Okay, and there's a story behind these because we have a kind of like a Zoom group. And actually it's people from quite a few different places. I think we're all in Canada, but yes. We've got, like we're not all directly in the same city. And, it's basically open, I think 3 times a week, but you may not always be at every one. But anyways, we've had a really good time getting to know each other better through the pandemic. And so one of our Zoomers is Heather from Timber Yarns. So she actually asked us all what our favorite color was. And then she did a self-striping yarn with all those colors. And then we all had to make something from it. And we didn't show it. I couldn't show these before because we didn't show it until we had a Zoom call Sunday night where everybody kind of showed what they either had already made or what they were working on. So it's amazing with all of us. Nobody did the same thing. Everybody was doing something different. So in mine, here's all the different colors. So the pink color was my color. And then this kind of purpley berry color here, this was Heather's color. So I put her down on the cuff because she did the yarn and she's close to my heart. And then every finger is a different person, a different person's color.
I'm the pointer on
You're
her
this one.
Right hand. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't put you here, Kelly.
Thank you.
Anyway, so this one's Kelly. And so, yeah, so every person is a different color. And then I'm at the top of right next to everybody's color. So I thought that was so awesome and
they're very fun.
So it's timber yarn. I still actually have enough yarn left to
make socks.
a little pair of shorties. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really happy with them. And it was kind of fun to do gloves. And then you can kind of customize the fingers to fit yours. And it's got, I don't know if you can see, but it's got a really cool, maybe I can hold this one up, pattern across the glove, and they fit really nice. They go up a nice distance up. So that was, I think they were called Crazy Parrot mitts.
There's a crazy lady wearing them.
Crazy lady wearing. Anyway,
Uh,
I really like them. It's fun sorry, they're not mitts, gloves. It's fun doing gloves. I really like doing gloves.
You like doing
So-
all 10 fingers or
Well, I
8
can't.
fingers
I
and 2
can't
thumbs?
say that I like sewing in all the ends of all the 10 fingers,
No,
right?
that's a
Because it
lot.
was a different
A
color
lot.
at each. So that was a lot. But just to do those in a self striping where you didn't have to worry about all those colors wouldn't be that bad.
Mhm.
They're kind of fiddly, but one finger really doesn't take all that long.
No. Barb wants to know where mine are. I'm doing something different, Barb. I think everybody did something different. So
everybody did do something different.
Yeah. And Valerie asked what my sweater is. It's the Garden Gate sweater, Valerie. And there was one other. Oh goodness, I had something that I was going to talk about. Oh, Deb wanted to know if I've had any problems with duty. And she says, I know that we've talked about this before. So, Deb, for the first time ever, I was charged duty on this order. But it was a pretty large order because I had partnered up with somebody else, and the order was over $100 in British pounds. So it was like 180 Canadian dollars, and I had to pay $15 duty today to pick up the parcel. But that's the first time. Like normally when I order from there, I'm going to say it's under $100 and I've not been charged duty.
But I'm wondering if they're starting to like maybe crack down on some things, because we had a parcel come to the door too, and it was only 116 US, and we got charged $28 on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I've talked to some other people that have ordered from places where they didn't previously have to pay duty, and they ended up getting charged duty. So that could be something that Canada's doing.
Okay.
You know, maybe who knows? I mean,
maybe.
unfortunately, you never know, right?
You can't predict if you're going to get hit with duty or not. So, and Mickey is asking if you can explain the lucky dip. So this is it's an idea that we didn't come up with this.
No, it wasn't my idea.
We are not taking credit for this. This is a podcast that we watch, and it's Kate from Hawthorne Cottage Knits.
Hawthorne Cottage Craft, I think it is.
Crafting, sorry.
Yeah.
And she chose, at the beginning of the year, she picked out 12 skeins of yarn. And then, so Noelle participated in this last year, and she chose her 12 skeins of yarn. And every month she would just kind of jumble them up, and Ross would reach in and grab one. And that's the socks that Noelle knit each year. And then, we should have.
Or each month.
Each month.
Yeah.
And that way she had her 12 pairs of socks at the end of the year, because she has a lot of socks to knit for her family.
Yeah. There's 12 adults that I have to knit for, 12 adult pairs of socks. And then I had the kids ones, but I had actually enough. So my yarn basically was self-patterning, right? So I had some West Yorkshire spinners. I had some of the Arne & Carlos Regia. I had some opal, but I had enough skeins of that to do the whole thing. So everybody's sock is kind of a different pair of like a self-patterning yarn. It was fun. And that, that used up a lot of that.
Yeah. So you could actually choose like a bit of a theme for yourself. Yep. Or maybe you're just choosing 12 skeins that you want to work with this year.
Yep.
It's really up to you.
And it doesn't have to be socks.
No.
You could put, and it doesn't have to be sock weight yarn. You could put in you've got 12 DK skeins and you're going to knit hats.
12 hats.
Or some hats and some socks. It's just basically that for that month, you're sort of committed to knitting that yarn.
Yes. Because I know, Noelle, you're talking about doing it again this year, but you're suggesting Croy sock yarn.
So that'll be two skeins for every pair of socks, because the Croy skeins are only 50 grams.
50, yes.
But I'm pretty sure I have enough of the Croy to put them in and do. Yeah, so it was kind of fun. I didn't know at the beginning of each month what color I was going to end up doing. I did different patterns. It was actually a lot of fun, because last year I did everybody some of the Leo and Roxy work sock. Yes. And let me tell you, by the time I got to the last pair, and the only thing different was the color of the stripe, I'm like, I don't want to look at this yarn anymore.
And I warned you about that. And you said, oh, no, it's going to be fine. You
But
come
I
up
got it
with
all
ideas
done.
every
I got it
year
all
that you
done.
think are going to be fine. And then you're saying, Kelly, don't let me do that again.
I know.
Like the dresses
Like
this
Victoria
year.
I know, but they are so cute. They are cute.
But you told me
So.
never to let you knit 3 dresses again 2 years ago when you knit dresses. So
Did I say that?
You just didn't listen to me when I tried to steer you away.
Oh, well. Anyway, so Linda's saying, yes, the Crazy Parrot mitts are by Regina Sada. So, and Michelle thinks that delivery from Wool Warehouse from the United Kingdom to Australia is about $13, 13 Australian dollars. Yeah, so if it's 13 Australian dollars and you're paying $20 for that sock yarn in Australia, and you can get it for, you said 6 Canadian, which is probably maybe just a little over 6 US. If you're ordering a few skeins of it, it's probably worth your while to order it, as long as you don't get charged duty when it comes to the door. That's the other thing we can't be certain of, right?
Yes.
So
Sue is asking, if you send a gift from the US to Canada, would you have to pay duty? If it's a gift, no. As far as I know. No.
Yeah, we don't know. They change.
We're not customs officers.
We're not customs people. No.
We're not border patrol. No. But as far as I know, if it's a gift, but obviously if you're ordering from somewhere, they are going to list on the package what it is. So.
Yeah. So
Susan said she fell down the Wool Warehouse rabbit hole. Oh, it's a deep hole, Susan.
I know. Like I think I'm gonna have a hard time keeping myself off that website tonight when we're done here.
Well, you don't have to get on the website because I'm giving you one. So there, you've got wool coming from Wool Warehouse.
But I could get more, Kelly. Anyway, I'm not going to. I have a bunch of things that I want to knit, and I've still got a whole lot of swatches to do.
Yes, you do. So you do.
I did get another couple done, but I've still got a whole lot to do. Anyways.
Michelle says, so you are giving her the okay to order. Once you
I
did
give
the math
anybody else the okay to order. Yeah, I did the math for you. Yep. It's all good. I don't want to talk to your husband though.
Nope. We are not responsible for that. No, not at all.
Okay, so I'm going to show you. I got some more tea towels off the loom. I'm all done weaving now for Christmas. I'm all done the weaving part. Okay. Now I just have to do the cutting and the sewing.
All right, show us because they're so pretty.
So these are my log cabin.
Oh, I love those ones. I love those ones.
I know. I love this pattern. It almost looks like 3D.
It looks like printed fabric. It's like from here, what I'm seeing looks like printed fabric. It's beautiful.
Okay, so that's those ones. So tomorrow's a cutting and sewing day and baking. And then these were the last set that I just pulled off.
Oh, I like those too.
So these are just, there we go. They're just like stripes in the Hudson's Bay colors, but I just did little mini stripes with the white.
I love them.
And I just think it's just a nice, clean looking towel. Yeah, so these ones were really kind of fun to knit because they were actually a little bit quicker, because once you warp it, all the detail is in the warp when you're doing the stripes. And then when I weave it, you're just weaving the same color all the way across. Whereas on the log cabin, you're changing colors every single pick. You're changing colors. So they took a little bit longer. Yeah. So I'm like I said, I got a lot of. I'm gonna do a table runner. I think that would be awesome in a table runner.
Well, when I was at your house Friday night and we were holding them up in the podcast, and you said, "Oh, those fringes are going to be cut off," and I'm thinking, they would look so pretty on my table. I like the fringes the way you've got them. Anyway. I have to commission some weaving from Noelle after Christmas when she's not knitting dresses.
Yeah, so those will get done. So those will be, that's like I said, the cutting and sewing is tomorrow's project, because I get the sewing machine out once to zigzag all the ends, but then I hem stitch all the hems on them. So pretty.
So pretty. We have a question, and sorry, Cape 6, nope. I'm not sure of your first name, but she's wondering where we ordered our Holst yarn that we showed on the last podcast. So we ordered it directly from Denmark, and we got in. Was yours the Black Friday sale too?
No.
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 Okay. So I ordered mine on the Black Friday sale, and it's usually about 20% off. They have a little tool on there that you can see as you're adding items. I don't know where you're located either. So in Canada, here's the way we worked it. We would add items to our cart until it bumped up to the next level of shipping. What was the first level, Noelle, in Canada? It's like 20.
Yeah, I think I only paid like around $28 maybe.
Yes. And I think like we've gotten as much usually. Okay. So for me, I spent $88. I got 3 of the big cones, and then I got 3 of the little cakes.
That's 88 US. It is.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. 88 US. So that was what the weight could bear for that first level of shipping. And then even if you put Cape 6, Nova Scotia, oh, dear to my heart. Hi, Shelley. So I was thinking about Nova Scotia when I was reading that. I was thinking about the lighthouses. So that's what I could fit into my cart at that level. But other times I've ordered, like, for instance, if I did 2 cones, because the cones are fairly heavy. So if I did 2 cones, I could get, I think I probably had 8 to 10 cakes in there. Like
I've done 2 cones and 14 cakes.
And 14 of the, well, not even this, but the actual, the little cake, right?
Yeah. And that takes it to that. If you put in one, I do it until I put in one more thing and the shipping goes up, and then I take it out.
Yes, that's what I do. And then I decide what can't live in there. So that's my second time ordering, but I know you've ordered a few times, right?
Yes.
From there now.
That was, well, yeah, I've ordered maybe 4 times from them.
Mm-hmm.
So
it makes it worthwhile. Like if you're prepared to fill a cart, and the prices are really reasonable really if you're direct on their site too.
Even if it's not their Black Friday sale, even if it's not 20% off, the prices are really, really reasonable, because you can basically, a cone is 500 grams. The yardage is really good on it. So I can easily even if you doubled it, you could, I think for a lot of sizes, you could get a sweater out of a cone.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and the cones, I think, even at regular price, might be around $30 Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, so they're good prices.
Anyway,
Major was wondering how long it takes you to weave a towel.
So we had that discussion, didn't we? You and I. Okay, so when I weave them, I do actually a set of 3 at once, because I warp up the loom with a length that will give me 3 towels. That probably takes an hour and a half. Then to get it ready to actually start weaving, like to tie it on and get your threads all lined up and ready to start, is probably another half an hour. And then I would say each one to weave is probably an hour and a half each, at least. And then once you cut it off, you've still got to sew. And then I go down and press it so that I get like a triple fold hem, and then hand stitch the hem. So to say how much for one towel, I don't know. 1.5, maybe 3 hours for one towel, maybe more. It all depends on the pattern in the that I'm weaving too, but definitely a whole lot quicker than knitting. Mm-hmm, so anyway, thanks everybody for all the comments on the tea towels. It is fun. It is fun to see them. It does get sometimes a little bit monotonous weaving. Mm-hmm. Like I mean, I like doing it. It does not hold my interest the same way that knitting does, but you get something accomplished a whole lot quicker. Linda wanted to know how I manage all my crafts. If I block time to do certain crafts. Okay, so I would say I knit every day. Like usually a lot of my knitting time is first thing in the morning when I get up.
Tell everybody what time you get up.
Well, usually it's 5, but lately it's been even earlier. Lately it's been like 4:30, whatever. So like I get 3 to 4 hours of knitting in before my husband even gets up. So that's I knit when I'm doing the towels. Like now that I'm doing them for Christmas, that's kind of I binge and do a whole bunch of sets. And it makes a lot more sense to have a whole bunch of sets because my sewing machine's not up regularly. So it makes sense to have a whole bunch that I'm going to take out and sew at once. Yeah, and then candles I might do every once in a while, like usually just at Christmas. But Kelly and I want to get into doing it so that we've got candles for the whole year. So
for
we're
a
going to
whole
do
year.
that.
Yes.
But again, that would be something that you kind of do in a batch and then you may not do it again for a while. So I would say knitting is the one thing that I do on a consistent basis. And the other things, although I haven't been at my spinning wheel for probably the whole month of December because I just haven't had time, but I'm looking forward to getting back to that. And on a regular basis with that, I would usually spin every day, but December, I just don't have any time. So
what you also have to know, everybody, is that Noelle is a person who can't sit still. So I don't know how she gets so much knitting done, but like it comes down to minutes for her. So her spinning wheel is somewhat near the kitchen. So when she's got coffee going in the coffee pot and she's waiting that 3 or 4 minutes, she's in there spinning.
Stand waiting. I'm having a hard time right now because I'm making bread every morning right now, right? Because we make quite a lot of bread. And I do it in a mixer. I used to do it all by hand, but my KitchenAid now will support a recipe that has 9 cups or more of flour in it. So I can do it in the KitchenAid.
Yes.
So then when I've got to knead it for 10 minutes, I'm like, what do I do? Like, I don't want to get into anything else where, I want to watch it because I'd like to watch it just in case I don't want the dough to go up over the hook thing. So I'm like 10 minutes and I'm like, it's like that 10 minutes takes forever. So.
But I'm sure you're standing there knitting, right?
Oh, that's a good idea. Never thought of that, Kelly. I seriously, honestly, never thought of that. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to do that.
Because that's what I do. If I'm waiting,
I could have had that muscle burra done.
Right? If I'm waiting for something that has, like 5 or 10 minutes left in the oven and it's cooking, I think, okay, well, I'll just pull out a sock and stand by the kitchen counter and can get in, maybe an inch or so. But yeah. Linda says that your tea towels look like a labor of love and she would not be able to use them. Okay, Linda, I can sympathize with that too, because the first time she gave me tea towels, they sat in my drawer for nearly a year. I was afraid to use them. I wasn't afraid to use them. I was afraid my husband would use them. I was afraid he would put dirty hands on them. I was afraid somebody would, I don't know, use it as a pot holder and get a burn in it. Finally, she said, don't be silly, use the thing. And now her tea towels are the only towels I use, and I absolutely love them. They are the best.
Thanks. I do like them. They actually do dry dishes. Like they're very absorbent.
They are.
So,
yes.
And most of the ones that I did, the 3 of the sets that I did for this year are 100% cotton, and then one set is a cotton linen blend. So,
and Beth said that she's planning to weave 8 placemats for her table.
Yeah, I've got to get in and try some placemats. So
that'll be pretty too.
Now, when I do, like Ross has got it set up for me. So when I am doing like the actual going back and forth weaving part, like Ross has got it set up so I can tilt the TV in the living room so that I can still watch podcasts and things while I'm weaving. So, and Lauren wanted to know, when we use the Holst double on a cone, do you wind off 100-gram cake? So if I use it double, I do wind off, and then I take 1 strand from the cone and the 1 strand from the cake. If I'm just knitting it single, I just take it right off the cone. I don't roll it off the cone. Unless I was going somewhere and I didn't want to bring the whole cone with me, then I'd probably take some.
Yeah.
I'd wind some off it.
The Holst yarn was actually what I used on my little ornament the other night, Noelle. We had talked about doing this, but I was using like a baker's twine, so it was going to be too thick. But what I did the other night is, since the Holst yarn, and I used that oatmeal color that I just got, so it's kind of neutral, I just sort of did a loop and then I glued it into the star before I folded over one of the points so that it's a glued in hanger, which worked really, really well. Like better than gluing the twine onto the back. So.
Okay, see, Barb says she's like me, just like that. She can't sit still.
Yes.
So I even have a hard time sitting still on this podcast. Like I'm always moving. I'm like, sit still.
Well, my husband gets mad at me when if we are sitting down to watch a movie. So I'm knitting, have to be doing something with, otherwise I fall asleep. If I just sit there doing nothing with my hands, I will fall asleep. And then he gets angry. He says, well, you're not even watching. And I said, oh no, I'm watching. And because I can knit and not look at the knitting, and I can listen to the TV.
We're multi-talented. We can knit and watch TV at the same time.
Yes, we're multitaskers.
That's right.
Multi-crafting multitaskers. That's what we
Yeah.
are. So,
Okay, so Kathy says she's a guest teacher and she knits on socks while students are doing their lessons. I used to proctor some exams for accountants, and I just had to sit there and watch them. So like I could knit and still look at what they were doing without.
and Michelle says that you'll have to bring your weaving loom and the KitchenAid on the raft for a world trip. It better be a long raft because that warping, is it the warp that you do or the warp is very long, Michelle.
Yeah,
it's very long.
I'm still working on my cork supply.
That's right.
Anyways, yes, and we have to bring the KitchenAid so we can make some, have some good bread and wine.
That's right. We just need cheese. Does anybody here make cheese? Anybody watching us make cheese? Linda's husband.
We should try that, Kelly. We should try that.
We should
make cheese. We should. I was going to. It's supposedly relatively simple to make mozzarella.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do that. That's a 2022 goal.
Okay. We can do that. Oh my goodness. I have to stop working. Okay. Work is definitely getting in the way.
I've been telling you that since I met you.
I'm going to quit my job. Noelle and I are going to move to the country. We're going to have some goats. We're going to make our cheese and knit.
That's right.
Make tea
exactly.
towels.
Oh, so Kathy said her daughter made cheese. And
Beth
someone else.
Cheese.
Beth makes cheese.
I bet it's really good too.
Oh,
Homemade matzo is just the best.
She made matzo and it's the best.
Okay. Well,
yes,
yeah,
Michelle, we are going to need a second raft.
And Linda's husband is just laughing at us because he says the same thing to her about TV. Well, yeah, we can do more than one thing. And you know what, too? If you're a woman and you've had the pleasure of raising kids, or the displeasure some days, you're definitely a multitasker because you had to be, right?
Yeah.
Time to make a second raft, Michelle says. Yes,
sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Get good gloves for handling the hot mozzarella. Oh, we have a few cheesemakers in here. Who would have thought?
Okay.
Ricotta takes minutes? Minutes? I thought cheese making was like a very lengthy process.
Well, but that's the aging process. We don't have to stand and watch it age. I don't know, but I don't think cheeses like mozzarella and ricotta, they don't need to be aged. So.
Oh, Nikki says that we also need possums on the farm.
Well, we only need the kind of pot. Well, yeah, but then we wouldn't want to have to get rid of them to get yarn.
Well, no, we could.
I wouldn't want to have to do that.
We're not going to get rid of them, but we could brush them, get the hair out. Goat cheese is really easy. Marnie Lee has made lots of that. And that's what I was thinking, Marnie Lee. I like goat cheese too. This sounds really easy. How are we just thinking about this now?
I don't know.
Okay, we're going to make cheese.
Yep, that says heat the milk, add the acid, put the lid on and wait. There you go. Strain and eat. Wow. Okay, we got to do that.
Okay, we're going to do that.
I was going to make butter too. Seriously, you just put cream in a jar and shake it. How hard can it be?
It cannot be that easy because what about the people who churned butter forever?
Well, I'm not talking about mass quantities.
Okay. All right. I'm game. We're going to try these things for sure.
Oh, but Cindy said she did make it with her great-grandmother's butter churn.
She got about 2
tablespoons. I'm sure I read somewhere that all you have to do is put cream in a jar and shake it. Now we're going to have to try that.
Okay.
We should try it on KnitChat one night. I can just shake it through the whole thing and see if it turns into butter at the end of the chat.
Somebody's asking if we've watched a Wooden Nest podcast. Are they homesteaders, Sue? The best way to start is a soft cheese kit. Okay.
By Mad Millie.
I think we've been missing out. Clearly.
I sense another podcast. Cheese and
Cheese
chat.
and chat.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. Kimmy, I think my cousin used to make Ethiopian cheese too. And she said it's so easy to do, right? Butter,
That's it. Tracy's right. That could be my workout. But that you guys might get sick. I'll have to shake it down here.
Churning to the oldies. Yes. Butter takes only minutes if you have a KitchenAid stand. What? Yes, we have a KitchenAid.
You have a KitchenAid stand.
We each have one of those. There we go. Okay. We're on to something new.
We are.
Oh, and Klaska's talking about peanut butter. Oh my goodness. Peanut butter is my kryptonite. For sure.
She says Vitamix makes great peanut butter from fresh peanuts.
Okay, let's just throw the knitting away. I'm totally.
I know. I'm getting.
I really want to go
now.
to the kitchen now and start making charcuterie items. All right. Possum cheese. I don't know about that, Kathy. I don't even know.
I don't know. But we'll try anything once. but I'm not milking the possum. That's your job, Kelly.
Oh,
I'll do the shaking.
This just went in a direction. This just went in a wrong direction quickly. Oh,
we are. Wait. We are a knitting podcast.
Anybody that has just recently tuned in is probably wondering what they have stumbled upon. We apologize.
Oh, Michelle said I'm going to end up with with an injury from shaking the butter, and I won't be able to knit. We just found out we can do it in my KitchenAid.
So much easier. So much easier. Yes. But then you see, we'd have this fresh butter to go with that bread that you're making.
Yeah.
I'm going to be making some serious amounts of bread this weekend because somebody asked, well, we're going out to dinner on Saturday at my son's house, and his mom is cooking, or sorry, his mom would be me. Her mom is making the dinner and has asked me to make dinner rolls. So I'm making dinner rolls, and then we're going out on Boxing Day to my sister-in-law's house. And she also asked if I'd make dinner rolls. And I said to Mike, I said, we're going to be making a lot of bread this weekend. That's what I know. Goodness. And then I'm making dinner on Christmas Eve to take to my dad. So, yeah. Oh, pistachio and almond butter.
Doing my bread every morning. Get a batch made every morning. So.
Jan says her butter feels like cashmere. I love it. Oh, I can't believe we were so slow to come up with that one.
I have no comment on that.
Feels like butter.
That's right. It feels like butter.
Oh my goodness. Kathy says we have solstice sillies. Is that what it is? Is that we've got something
we're only drinking water.
I know, and we can't even say it's like your town water or my town water because we both have it. That's like when we were trying to do the podcast the other night. We have the worst time starting. We just keep saying we're better live because then we're just like thrust in here and we have to start. When it's time for us to do our podcast, we look at each other, we clear our throat. This goes on and on for a few seconds. There's nobody watching but the camera and we just can't get started. And so then Noelle says to me this time, you start this time. I'm like, starting is hard. And she's like, it is hard.
And did you start? I can't even remember.
I did. I think for the first time. Yes, I did. But yet on the live, we just jump right in. And how is that? There's
because we're just happy to be on. We're just happy to be on time with the live.
Oh, please. Another dig on me showing up almost tardy.
I even texted you because I'm like, what the heck? Like, is your internet down?
Maybe I should subscribe to our channel so I'd get a notification a half an hour ahead.
Well, there's an idea.
Oh my goodness. All right. Somebody is asking. Oh, Deborah says it's a full moon. I think that was 2 nights ago, Deborah. We have no excuse any longer.
No. Okay, so Edible Thoughts makes YouTube today. Oh, she knitted a mussel for a hat
out of an advent.
Oh, that would look nice.
Okay, so that would look
check
good.
that out.
That's what we were talking about earlier. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Janet wants to know if you have a special bread recipe that you use.
I do 2 different kinds of bread at Christmas. They're both braided breads. I do it's a challah bread, but it's from a bread book that I got, like 30 years ago. It's not, I don't even think it's in print anymore. So it doesn't use sugar, it uses honey. And then it's got oil in it, and it's just, I don't know, just good. So it's honey is what's used for the sugar, as opposed to, I don't know if other recipes use sugar or not. Anyway, so that's a challah bread. And then the other one that I make is a Finnish pulla bread. And the pulla bread has cardamom in it. And it's really good. It's got cardamom and milk. So they're kind of 2 different kinds. Like the challah bread is obviously like kind of like a really rich egg bread. And then the pulla bread is almost tastes a little bit like it's a little bit sweet, almost like a taste of like a Danish pastry type thing. So those are the ones that I make. And I make buns sometime throughout the year, or bagels, but usually I only make those 2 kind of breads at Christmas time, because I don't need to be eating all that bread all the time either.
No, we don't.
So, but it's a nice treat, and it makes a nice gift. So a lot of it, like I probably make 12 to 15 loaves, and we probably get to keep one. And the rest of it I give away. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Oh, Cindy, you're very sweet. She says everyone needs a Kelly and a Noelle. Yes. Well, you should see us when we're actually together. We don't get much knitting together either, because we just break up into these silly sets of giggles, and we get very little done even when we are together. But yeah, we should actually videotape some of that sometime, or record some of that. Maybe when we're making candles, we'll show you what we're up to.
I'm not sure anybody should see that. Anyways, yeah, I'm looking forward to making them, because most of mine that I made, I'm giving away. So I have to make some for myself. And I'm excited to see what some of the other scents work up like. And again, you smelled some of the ones under here. They smell really good, but you really can't tell until you burn it.
No, exactly.
Right? So
exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So actually mine will have aged. They're 2 weeks by Christmas. So I'll get to light my first one here on Christmas, because I'm going to keep like the little jars for me. And then it's the bigger ones that I'm giving away.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and I talked to Jacqueline. She has a few more jars for me. So. But
Cheryl says we're a crafty group. You're right, Cheryl. Like, combined, the amount of crafting knowledge in this group right now, and I'm not counting us. I'm counting everybody else that's in here. We just
learned about cheese and butter. And
Who would have known? Who would have known?
So.
Well, thank you, Judith. We're lucky too. We are lucky to have all of you.
Yeah, no kidding. It's so nice to do this. Like it's. I must admit, when we first started doing this, I was a little nervous at the beginning. No, I was a lot nervous.
You were a lot nervous. You were a lot nervous.
And because live is like
live.
Yeah.
There's no Kelly to edit out the bad parts. There's just, you're out here. So
if you actually chip your tooth in a live, it's a chip tooth live. It was only a little chip. It was okay.
Yeah, but that was one of those things that it's like, I felt I shouldn't be laughing if you chipped your tooth, but it was funny. It was funny as heck. I mean, I can't help that.
Anyway. Okay, so a few people have asked about the paper tree. Barb, I'm going to put the links for the tutorials for both the tree and the star. I'm going to put them underneath this video, but like give me a little while after to make sure it's up, but I will put those links underneath the video.
Mm-hmm. And Maris, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Maris is wondering if we're doing a live. Yes, we are. We're actually having a pajama party next week. So we'll be in our pajamas, and we're hoping that all of you that can join us will be in your PJs too. And if you have the ability to send us a photo, either on Instagram or to our Gmail address, put it back up now that we're at the end. Yep. And we would love to see a picture. And then I'm going to put them together in a little slideshow and share with all of you so that we can all see one another in our PJs. And I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yep.
I wish we could actually get together. My gosh.
I know.
Wouldn't
Look
that
at look at the meal we could have with fresh butter and cheese. And May Jo just said May Jo makes, like, I see pictures of her amazing sourdough on Instagram. We could have
Yes.
sourdough.
Oh my goodness. We would need to be in our PJs
Yes.
after all that good food.
Oh, and Klaska could make peanut butter.
Yes.
So we'd have lots of bread and peanut butter, and it would be awesome.
It would be the best meal ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be amazing to get together with everybody, wouldn't it?
Okay, Maryse, a French name.
Very beautiful. Probably not the way we're saying it, sorry, but Maryse. It sounds beautiful.
It does.
Jess said her kids are on winter break. She'll have one of them. Oh, yay. Take a PJ picture soon. Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Yes. I'm hoping that we get lots of pictures. If you can make sure that you just have them into me by Christmas, because I'm probably going to do that on Boxing Day. And I can't wait to see them all. I've gotten a few, and there's some really good ones. So.
That's right. And Klaska said we could have our candles for the centerpieces on the table. We could like do everything ourselves.
We can have yogurt for dessert.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
Chocolates. Maybe we should make chocolates.
I've made chocolates before. Actually,
I've only made chocolate dip stuff.
I think I wanted to make that. I think it's called Christmas crack, where you do like the crackers on the bottom, and then it's like a brown
soda
sugar.
Crackers that kind of taste like Score Bar.
Yeah. So I think Julia says that she makes that every year. There's lots of recipes on the internet, but I've never made it. So I would like to know one person's tried true recipe. So Julia is the only one that I knew that made it. So if Julia, you wouldn't mind sharing that recipe, I'd like to make some. I've got all the stuff to make it. My kids would love that. They like the chocolate with the Score Bar.
Jo says she makes chocolate all year round. Oh, Julia said she already made a batch and it's already gone already.
Klaska's wondering if anybody makes wine. I used to years ago.
I drink it.
We drink wine.
I don't know. We only ever made wine from like the concentrates that you get. And I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. So it might be different if you I would love to stomp on grapes. I think that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Actually press the juice out. And I think there's probably a difference when you're making it from like real grapes where you get the actual grape juice as opposed to a concentrate. But
okay. Sarah's mom makes crack nuts, which are almonds that are so addictive. They are like crack.
Oh,
I wouldn't mind that recipe. That sounds good. My husband loves almonds.
Yep.
So Marianne wants to know, can one of our prizes include a candle and a tea towel? Funny you should ask that, Marianne, because one of the things that Noelle and I discussed, and then we finished our podcast the other night, and one of the things that we were going to do was include a gift. And one of the gifts was going to be a tea towel. We're probably going to say no to the candle because the candle is awkward for shipping. But the tea towels we can press out flat, just like when I do the bags. And then I had an idea of something that I could make that I thought would be a nice gift. So after the podcast,
we thought of doing that. We thought we might do that now since we might do that at Christmas.
In January.
For the start of the new year.
Yes.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yes. Yes. The tea towel gift is coming and something else too. Cindy says that's an I Love Lucy scene. That's exactly what I was thinking, Cindy.
The chocolates. When she's wrapping the chocolates and she ends up having to put them all in her mouth, or the one where she's
she's stomping the grapes.
Yes.
I would be afraid to have Noelle in there stomping the grapes.
I'd be jumping.
I know, but it's pretty deep and you could fall and then you'd be like so short. We'd lose you in the grapes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's good. Oh, well. So what do we have that we can wrap this up with? When we're talking about Ravelry, we still have, today is the 21st. So that still gives you 10 days to get some more socks in.
Yep.
Maybe we could get to 20. No, can't get to 2021. We're at 1500. But next year the goal is
next year, 2022. I
2022.
think that's a good goal for 2022. 2022 pairs of socks in 2022.
Absolutely. And then we also have our
www now. Do we have that on here?
Yes, it's on there.
Okay.
Oh, I'm the worst one. This was the worst named knit along ever.
That's why you just say www.
We can't ever remember it.
www.knp Mal. So it's just warm winter woolies.
Yes. I also just realized that we haven't had our name up here for the entire podcast.
I'm Noelle. That's Kelly.
Welcome to our hot mess. It's crazy.
Maybe we didn't want anybody to know who we were this time.
Oh dear.
Anyways, yes. So those two knit-alongs are going on, or make-alongs are going on. So the www Cal goes, it's actually a Mal, and it goes to the end of January. Yeah. So we're hoping, I think we're both hoping to get some winter accessories done in January. There's so many nice hat patterns and mitten patterns, and I really want to get some done.
Tony says we could go to Clinton, Indiana on Labor Day, and there's a little Italy festival, and we could stomp grapes.
Okay. It's on the world tour.
So want to do that. And Lisa's wondering, she's knitted 3 pairs of socks. Is it too late to enter? Absolutely not.
No,
Lise.
put them in there.
You've got until December 31st, because when we do a draw, it goes all the way back to the beginning of the year. So like at this point, there's 15, how many did you say? 1,507.
It was 1506 or 7, I think, when I looked tonight. 1507, but that was a while ago.
So all of those are eligible for a prize. Okay.
Yep.
So
get them in there.
Please get those in.
So Marianne thinks we should have a Knits and Pieces retreat at a vineyard, a cheese factory that's down the road from a sheep farm that sells yarn. And
Marianne, if you find that place, I will be there. Absolutely.
Sounds awesome.
Sharon is telling us to watch Missy's Kitchen and PEI.
Okay.
She has the one
she's making
Christmas crack.
Okay, we'll have to do that.
Yes. Okay. And yes, Beth, get that new hand knit hat into the accessories. Tracy wants to come, Marianne too. So yes, let me know where that place is. I'm there.
Barb says they make wine in jail. Okay, I'm not ready for that.
Okay.
I don't think they let you have sharp objects in there like your knitting needles. So.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, I think it's also called toilet wine in jail, Barb.
Okay, this is taking a bad turn. It's probably time to wish everybody a great holiday season and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And
Mary's just here. She missed it. She forgot that today was Tuesday. So. Well, some days I'd like to forget what day of the week it is, but Tuesdays I will never forget. Never forget. Barb says not that she was in jail. She saw a show on Netflix. That's right. I think I saw the same show. Okay. Well, yes, it's been lovely. So we'll be here next week for pajama night.
We will.
And looking forward
to your pictures in.
Catching up with everybody. Please get your pictures in. This will be so much fun. And if you do celebrate Christmas, we hope you have a wonderful one. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a lovely long weekend. Get some rest, get some knitting, treat yourself kindly. And
take some time to relax. I have to remind myself to do that sometimes, but yeah, it's just because it's going to be here and it's going to be gone, but you need to just enjoy.
Yes. I'm looking forward to, when the chaos is over and you just go,
I know. I kind of like Boxing Day morning when because I'm still always the first one up and everybody else is sleeping. The house is a wreck. The house is a mess. And I just get up and it's just peaceful and quiet. And it's like, okay, there's like not a ton of things I have to do today. And it's just.
You have a large family. So your big day is a much bigger day. Mine is pretty subdued and spaced out. And that will be our week in January when Kendall and Derek and baby Miles come here. It's going to be a week of chaos at the O'Connor house. That's what I know. Just shenanigans galore. But anyway, So again,
So anyway, so Merry Christmas, everybody, and we hope we see you all here next week at our pajama party, and it'll be fun.
it will be fun.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay, so take care, happy knitting, and see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.